Hey there, it's DrainToons, and today I'm going to be doing an inking demo. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to DrainToons. I am your host, Adrian Raya, and today we're going to be doing this little inking demo of this study from Charles Burns. Before I start this video, I want to remind you that the videos are now brought to you by these comics that I make. This is Binko issue number 1, which is available on Webtoons as we speak. It is a short story mini-series about this little wiener dog who gets into these misfortunate events that cause him life-threatening situations, and he has to survive in each single comic book, in each single issue. It's very cartoony, very lighthearted. It's not serialization at all, which means every single issue that drops, you get to start anywhere you want. So there's really no continuity. There's really no continuity. You can just start in every single issue, and it doesn't really have to matter anything. These are very short stories. These are like 8 pages, and I'm trying to put these all together into like volume sets. The second issue will be coming out pretty soon, but you can go ahead and check out the first issue on Webtoons as we speak. That link will be in the description below. Also, I want to let people know that I stream on Twitch. If you go to twitch.tv/DrainToons, you will find me right there, where I basically stream art, video games. I also talk about comics and illustrations, animations. So if you're interested in that, please go ahead and support me on Twitch. There will also be a link in the description below, or you could just go to twitch.tv/DrainToons. Also, don't forget to subscribe. That really supports the channel as well, and also hit the notification icon bell so that way it notifies you when a video drops. Alright, now all of those plugs are out of the way. Let's get right into this inking demo that I have prepared for you today.
For this inking demo, I will be using the Hunt 102 dip pen. This pen is infamously used by a lot of artists over the years. The pen is very reliable, and I would definitely recommend it to anyone.
Now, to start it off, I'm going to be inking a drawing study from Charles Burns. This illustration comes from his recent published work called Free Shit.
Now, to start off my ink session, I usually start with the facial expressions, and then I make my way down to inking the rest of the body. I have a reason for this. Usually when a lot of people look at illustrations, they look for the facial expressions before they see the rest, but everybody else is different. I like to start this way because it's more comfortable for me, but I will occasionally change it up from time to time. Like if you got a person come to your art exhibit, they look at one art piece, see a weird expression, and they just storm the out of your art exhibit. Now, for people who are just starting out inking, you notice that I rotate my paper. The reason why I do this is so that way I can stay consistent with my line thin and thicknesses. It helps to balance the drawing out so that way it's not a bloody mess. Like if you keep the paper still, it's going to basically mess up your line quality, but if you rotate your paper, your lines stay cohesive and consistent. Now, here's a little quick tip on how I get my thick and thin lines. Now, you notice that I start with a small touch, and then once I get to the end of that line, I press really hard down onto the paper so that way I can get that thickness going, and then I do the same thing on the end of that thick line. I go right back to thin. I suggest you get like a blank sheet of paper and just grab yourself a brush, fill out the lines thick and thin so that way you can get that motion in your hand. Do that a couple of times a day because you're exercising your wrists.
How did you feel after you killed it? Just how I feel
Now, here's here's a little technique called feathering. Now, feathering is an effect where you put simple lines on a row to create like a sheen effect. Here's a couple of examples on the screen on what feathering should look like. Now I'm adding some more darker shapes, dynamic shapes, to create a level of contrast to make the drawing more visually appealing. And so now that I added those layers of shapes down on her hair and her clothing, now I'm going to mix it up with my feathering to give it more of a pop.
And there you have it. It was really cool that I got to share some insight on how I do my inking process, and hopefully some of you have learned something a little bit too as well. I hope some of you learned something about this too as well. So if you guys have any feedback, please leave them in the comments down below. I'll also be linking some of my favorite videos on inking. That way you have a little good insight on how to prepare yourself for inking. But that's all I have for you today. Now, before I end this video, I want to remind you that I have comics that are out right now. This is Binko issue number 1. This is being serialized on Webtoons right as we speak. If you just go to the link in the description, it will take you to issue number 1, and I want to remind you that issue number 2 is coming out pretty soon, so be sure to check that out when that drops. Also remind you that I stream on Twitch. If you go to twitch.tv/DrainToons, you'll find me right there. Go over there, support me over there too as well. We're all chilling out, hanging out. It's all about good vibes, making art, and having fun. And also please remember to subscribe to the channel. That really supports the channel too as well. And also hit that notification icon bell so that way it notifies you when a video drops. And also be sure to like the video if you enjoyed it too as well. And thank you so much for watching. Until next time, this has been DrainToons. I'll see you all next time. And remember, stay creative. I'm out of here. Bye-bye.